Hey guys, Forging Mastered here, and today we're going to be taking a general overview about some War Thunder tactics, where to shoot, some tanks in general, and just basically how to become a better tank player. I'm not going to cover planes, I'm not too good at them, but we'll start off just looking at a few basic American tanks. We'll start at Tier 1. So here's an M3A1 Stuart. It's almost the exact same thing as the M2A4. And we're going to look at the armor here. And most people probably know all of this stuff, but here you can see the armor is angled, increases the thickness, and the further you go up, the thicker the armor gets, and the further you go down, the effective thickness is lower. So whenever you see a tank with angled armor, not saying you should always shoot there, but if you are going to shoot at angled armor, always shoot at the lowest part, since the thickness is lower. And if you are in a tank, you can take advantage of this by angling yourself. So here we can see this part's around 40 millimeters of thickness if you're just looking at it dead on. Sorry about the fan there. And if you angle yourself about 45 degrees, the thickness becomes around 60 at the nearest spot, and as you go over, it just becomes even harder to penetrate. The shells will just bounce off more than half the time. But it depends on the tank, because you could be exposing weaker spots, like right here. It's around 35, and it's actually weaker than what the weakest spot on the front of this tank is. Another good thing is just to go into the X-ray mode yourself and just look at where the ammo is. The ammo is the best way to kill a tank. If you shoot through the side here, it's only 25 millimeters, almost anything can penetrate that. You shoot this ammo, everything in here is going to blow up, and it's going to be a one-shot on the tank. Now, I will probably make some guides on where to shoot specific tanks if I get requested, if this gets a lot of likes, whatever. If you want to see more tips on where to shoot specific tanks, I'll go through some ones that I specifically have trouble with. But first, I'm going to do one more general tip. Applies most to all of the T-34s, I believe. Let me pull one out here. All T-34s and a few tanks that I can't name off the top of my head, but whenever this wants to move there. Alright, so a T-34, you can see this turret ring right here. Again, I'm not saying this is the best spot to shoot for all the tanks. I'll cover those in certain videos, but T-34, this turret thing right here, no matter where you go, I mean, this one's a little bit different because the turret's kind of weird, but right from the front even, it's 45 millimeters compared to the spaced armor right here, which is going to be like 80. So this turret ring, you can shoot it. You're going to disable the turret rotation so you can flank him easier. It's not going to be able to follow you. And a lot of the time it's going to kill a loader and the gunner. And if you have good enough fragmentation, it'll sometimes bounce down into the ammo, kill everything really in one shot. Now this goes for basically all the T-34s. I'm not actually sure about the really high tier ones. I'll check that real quick. And almost any tank with an exposed turret ring, if you really understand that. This one does not look to be the case unless you're shooting it from the side, but turret ring on the T-34-85 is not worth shooting. It's right back there. Another thing, mainly with Russian tanks, we'll do a KV-1 for an example. KV-1s are, most people don't know where to shoot them, and this goes for almost all Russian tanks. Almost all Russian tanks have this little turret overhang here, and more than half the time they have their ammo stored there, and it's not super thick. On a KV-1 it is, because KV-1s have just thick armor everywhere. But if you can get to the side of it, or if he's aiming to the side, not seeing you, to shoot there, almost always a one-shot kill. So there's where to shoot a KV-1. That's good information. Another tank we'll do is a Sherman. Shermans are kind of a hard one to shoot, especially from the front. I'm not even sure where to shoot them from the front at this very time. I'll do some videos later. This Sherman is a little bit different. It has these extra armor plates, totaling to around 60 millimeters here, a little over 60. But even though it's around 60, if you can flank it, sorry, I just finished a game there, you're going to want to shoot where these armor plates are. Some Shermans don't have them, but like where the flat part is a little bit lower, and you're going to shoot the ammo, blow it up. If you're shooting it from the front, right here above the tread seems to be the best spot. It's still, really, Shermans from the front are just kind of hard to shoot, but right there is going to be the best bet, because again, if you can penetrate around 80 millimeters, you're going to hit the ammo. Let's do a German tank. Do the Tiger. Tigers are basically like Shermans. You shoot them from the side, there's going to be an ammo reserve. Whenever it's a loading. Yeah, as you can see, German tanks just have ammo all over the place. On this flat side, it's flat, so it's still going to be pretty thick because it's a Tiger, 82 millimeters, but around this tier, anything can penetrate that ammo right there. From the front, basically the same spot as the Sherman. 102 millimeters, 103. Should be able to penetrate that. Again, ammo. So, if you guys like these kind of overview tip videos, be sure to let me know. I'll make some more on specific tanks if you want to request specific tanks, or I can just do more general tips that I find helpful. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll be sure to make some more videos.